Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in for tonight's stream. I am joined this evening by Jamie from Jamie Phillips Football Chats. How are you doing this fine evening, Jamie?
I'm doing good, man. Rest of Liverpool or not.
Yeah. The whole Liverpool news. Obviously, we are both Liverpool fans. Obviously, like discussion about that will probably be on Jamie Phillips's channel because this channel is purely just on MMA fighting and stuff like that. So I will probably not be answering any questions about Liverpool at all on this stream. This is purely MMA, UFC, and we've got a packed show today. And let's start off with at the top of the agenda. Dana White made an announcement last night that the UFC are heading to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on June the 22nd, where the card will be headlined by Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimeav. And as well as it being a main event, 5 rounds, first time we're going to see Khamzat pushed in a 5-rounder. It's also a number 1 contender bout as well. So poor old Sean Strickland, his antics has probably cost him another shot at the title. And obviously co-main event is Sergey Pavlovich versus Alexander Volkov as well, which means now that the Volkov-Almeida fight that was due to happen on UFC 302 is now been scrapped. Almeida still due to be on the card. And that was, so Almeida still be on UFC 302. Also on the card is Kelvin Gastelum, Daniel Rodriguez, Johnny Walker versus Ostan Uzdemir. And then I am going to butcher this name again, but F it, I'm going to say it anyway. It is, if I just get it up, I think it was, I'm not going to say his name. It's a guy with looks like he's got the Bisping eye. That guy. Jamie, what do you think of the card?
Look, it's actually quite a good card. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, the Khamzat and Whittaker. That's a co-main. Did you say? So it'd be 5 rounds. So
main event. That's your main event.
That's the main event. It just makes the rankings pointless, don't it? It does,
and we'll probably touch on the rankings when we discuss what else is in that title as well, because that's the rumor. Another rumor, but yes, this does make a mess of the rankings, really. And I know people are going to say, why is Khamzat not fighting in America? Why is he only fighting in Abu Dhabi and Saudi? It's because he's got visa issues. That's why he can't fight in America, because of his links, political links. That's why he can't fight in America at the moment.
I don't know if you can get a title shot if you can't fight in America. That might be very political, but then how do you defend your title? Because UFC is 94% a North American company.
Yeah,
they barely go overseas. So if he becomes champion and he still can't get a visa to fight in America, it doesn't make sense. Also, that might be a very political thing to say, but how Sean Strickland ain't getting a rematch is bonkers. Now, Sean Strickland beat Izzy. I think we got to remember this.
Sean Strickland beat Izzy. Schooled.
He absolutely schooled Izzy, yeah. Won the title, right? And then he doesn't get another rematch in a fight that a lot of people thought was quite close anyway. That's madness to me. And if Dana's going, Strickland's not getting this title fight because of his actions. Well,
but that's what I think it is. Dana's not confirmed it. That's just a prediction.
But if that is a prediction, Dana loves freedom of speech. He talks about it all the time.
Yeah, but it's only freedom of speech when it suits
it. It makes no sense to me. Why ain't Jared Cannonier getting the fight with Whittaker? They're 3 and 4.
Yeah, run that back as a rematch.
Why aren't they getting it? Why it's 3 and 4 in the world? Why aren't they getting it? Why does Khamzat get these fights? I don't get it. I don't get it. He's not going to be out. He's not going. I can tell you right now, Khamzat's going to lose.
Yeah, I think I said that in the video that I did earlier today. But if you haven't checked it out, I said it's a very 50-50 fight because Hamzat's great for the first round. Great for the first round, maybe great for the first part of the second round. But his cardio is a big like question mark. And let's be honest, guys, he did not beat Usman. That should have
Well,
been a split
we
decision.
did live watch along, didn't we? We did live watch along, and Usman won that fight. And
yeah, Usman late as well, like not even in. I wouldn't say, of course, he's in good shape because he trains all year round, but it wasn't what we're saying fight ready shape.
No, his first
make
185 fight. Robert Whittaker's a different beast, man. It's a different beast, and we saw Whittaker in his last fight. We thought is there question marks over it because of the bad knockout before. Schooled, and
I wouldn't say he schooled Costa though. Like I felt like the first round he was doing really really well, and then he just got caught, bang with the beautiful. It was a beautiful spinning back kick.
It was beautiful, man.
He was literally saved by the bell. Like about 10 seconds longer, he gets slept. First round KO. We're talking back to back. Big up Daz. Big up Daz as well.
I just think it's all a mess, man. I just don't get it. Like Hamzat's ranked 11, Whittaker's ranked 3. We know obviously Delapoo, is his going to be fighting for the title. We know that now. Hey, you just Jared Carinino and Marvin, the Italian geezer.
Well, I think with that, because where the division is at the moment, Marvin Vettori was supposed to fight Brendan Allen on the 6th of April, but Vettori had to be pulled out because he's injured. So that's now going to be Allen versus Curtis 2. So I believe they're going to run the Cannonier Strickland back. But yet again, I don't even want to see that one back because I thought Cannonier beat Strickland fairly comfortable. I didn't think there was anything controversial.
This makes no sense. Hamzat beat in his last fight at middleweight, beat up a blown up 170 fighter.
Yeah.
Who's he beating in his rankings above him?
I think the only good win he had at middleweight was GM3 when he knocked him out in literally it was 17 seconds, one punch knockout. That was his signature win at 85.
So he's not fought anyone above him really in the rankings, yeah.
And he's not fought a natural middleweight.
So he's getting Robert Whittaker. He's got to be bigger than him. Robert Whittaker could fight 205 if he wanted to properly. It's just, I don't get it. It makes a mockery of these rankings. We've said this video after video now. It makes no sense. It's money fights now. And if a man can't fight in America because of visa issues, how can he be champion? If he goes on a win, he's then obviously got to fight for the champ, which will be out of America if he still got visa issues. And then your champion hasn't got. It just makes no sense.
Do you know why I think it's about money as well, Jay? Because we're touching it. Because I have to say the card is good. It's a great card.
Yeah,
it's a great card. But let's stop this narrative saying that this is an exceptional card. It's only exceptional because the UFC have been putting on dross in the Apex. That's why they're calling this exceptional. That card for Saudi should be the standard of the UFC. Not the crap I didn't even watch. The thing is, I don't watch the UFC if it's in the Apex because it's boring, doesn't keep me awake. Because I have to stay up, we have to stay up late to watch it. I need a good card to keep me awake. But I'm falling asleep after the first prelim because I'm knackered. Because the fight, there's no atmosphere. So that's also a big issue. And I think what you said about the money fights is absolutely superb because the UFC was supposed to go to Saudi in March. That was a rumor that they were supposed to go in March, but they didn't for reasons unknown. Right? I'll read out the card of what the UFC were going to try and put on in Saudi. Right? Mohamed Mokaev versus Alex Perez. Eric Anders versus Jamie Pickett. Vinicius Oliveira versus Yanis Gumuri. Joel Alvarez versus Ludwig Klein. Sorry, my butchering. Shavkat Bassarat versus Amin Zabati. And then Jairzinho Rosenstruck versus Shamil Gassiev. That was what the UFC were trying to put on in Saudi. No wonder Saudi probably turned back to Dana and went, "You are not putting this shit on in this country. Go back to the drawing board and bring me back something worthy." And everywhere we've got a pretty good card. I'd say probably like a 7 out of 10 card.
Yeah,
Probably the Saudi card.
Yeah, look, we know with Saudi with boxing that they want the best that money can buy. So they're like, nah, we can't do better than that. And so
yeah, I just think because we know like the Saudi they're getting their fingers all in the like different pies and stuff like that. Like they've gotten into football, they've gotten into tennis, they've gotten into golf. They've got their way into boxing. Look what they're doing for boxing. We're seeing fights that we haven't really seen because promoters are sort of ducking each other, running away, making excuses of, we shouldn't really be doing this. All the money ain't right. Saudi have come in and say, hey, these are the numbers. Quit your moaning and put on these events. And that's why boxing at the moment is on upward trajectory because Saudi are literally going, quit your bullshit. We've got unlimited money to put these events on, and there is no excuses. And also, they've got their pies and they've got their finger into the MMA world as well because they are. I wouldn't say that they're a majority investor into PFL Bellator, but they are involved in that because, as we saw the PFL versus the Bellator super card, which wasn't really that super because I don't think we even knew that it was on.
No.
Really, because I think we forgot about that thing was even happening. And I think the fact that they've gotten doing the deal with the UFC, could you see it as a way that like the UFC going to bend the knee to Saudi? Because we know what Dana White's like. Dana's like no, this is my way or the highway. But if you look at that card that I read out, the original Saudi card, he would have put that on anywhere else.
Yeah.
So do you think Saudi are going to have an influence on the UFC's matchmaking?
Well, it's because no one else is wealthier. like Saudi, they could buy UFC 100 times over if they wanted to. It's just they've got the money to dictate where things go. Where in other territories, UFC are in charge because they can dictate where everything goes because they're the money men. But in this circumstance, no. Look at boxing; it's the same way. They dictated what they wanted. They're putting the money in. We've seen it ourselves, and it's going to be the same. Look, everyone's doing it. Boxing went over, wrestling's gone over. Now UFC. So some of the three biggest sports, if you want to call wrestling a sport, or attractions, entertainment, are now over in Saudi because that's where the money is. They will listen to what Saudi wants, And
do you think Saudi could use the same pool that they've used in boxing, like demanding Usyk, Fury, but like getting the big fights that we've not seen? Do you think they could have that same pool with the UFC? Do you think that Saudi had that much of a pool that they go after Stipe? No. The John Jones Stipe fight. Do you think Saudi would go today and say, "Yeah, John Jones ain't retiring. We want him to fight in Saudi for a bag"? Or do you think they can have that much power, or do you think that this is just going to be a yearly thing where they get a good card over at Saudi?
I think because the difference in UFC, because boxing as the sport is governed by promoters. With MMA, UFC is a promotion, ain't it? Like WWE is a promotion. So unless you buy into that promotion, have a stake in it for more say. So
like TKO.
So I think with the Saudi shows, I think it might be like WWE shows. There's 3 Saudi shows a year. 2 to 3 UFC, WWE shows a year in Saudi. They're owned by the same company in TKO. So you could see maybe 2 or 3 shows a year, maybe 2 shows a year in Saudi. You might see him, opening Saudi season up and things like that next year and the years after. But I think there's definitely going to be a working relationship now. They want in that market. UFC are not going to sit. WWE in that market. Boxing now is in that market with big fights. And, we think we're in our football games and all that go over there. And
tennis events. Are they trying to get
tennis
events? Are they trying to make like a 5th Grand Slam?
Yeah, there's loads of things that are going over there. So they're going to want a piece of that pie, of course. They are. It's where the money is right now. It's it's not going to be the new Vegas like people say it is, because you're never going to get that same atmosphere.
No way.
But it's where the money is, and fighters are going to get paid well if they go to Saudi. So they're going to put on good cards. As you say, they ain't going to want. They ain't going to want.
You say they'll get paid well, but we know what the UFC's like.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think Dana will fob their Saudis off. I think he can afford to with everyone else, but they want the Saudi market. They got unlimited wealth. If there's title fights to be had, you put them on in Saudi. Wouldn't surprise me if Steve John Jones is in Saudi.
Ooh, international fight week in Saudi?
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me. I think they're going to see how this event goes. See how it goes atmosphere-wise. And the only positive is that for us UK fans, it's on 8 p.m. main card. So a watch along for UFC Saudi Arabia will be a go, 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 go. Because it's on at a perfect time. It's on at prime time for us. Regarding Liverpool, Liverpool won't be playing by then. But regarding our diaries are free, I'll probably do a watch along for that, no doubt. Yeah. Watch Hamzat take his first L. So yeah, it's on at a great time. I just want to touch on the co-main quickly: Sergey Pavlovich versus Alexander Volkov. This wasn't the original plan for the UFC. Rumors were that they wanted to have Pavlovich Cyril Gane, and Gane turned it down.
Ooh.
Again. That's his fifth decline fight. Turned down Tom Aspinall twice. Turned down Curtis Blades twice. It's now turned down Pavlovich. I'll ask you this question, Jamie. How long do you think Cyril Gane can keep doing this before he really loses his... Don't know what he's got over Dana. Dana seems to just chuck him in these positions. How long do you think that's going to stay before that wears off for Dana? Because we know what Dana's like. He likes fighters that are ready to go all the time. They don't say no. And the fact is that he's saying no, that can only last so long. So how long do you think that will last for him?
Not long. Not a lot. Cyril Gane's a weird one, man. He's obviously a talented fighter, but we know... I don't know how much Cyril Gane is into his craft. Because when you listen to him in interviews, he's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't really want to train wrestling or ground game. It's like, man, if you want to be the best heavyweight in the world, you've got to be you got to be everything. He seems to want a certain fight. If Wonderboy Thompson was a heavyweight, Cyril Gane would fight him every week.
Yeah.
It'd be perfect for him, that stand-up fight. That's what he wants, He was never going to turn John Jones down. Let's be right here, because it's John Jones' money. So he's never going to turn that fight down.
Even though that was the worst matchup for him.
Yeah, possible. John Jones just got him in the headlock and won. It was embarrassing, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and he wants Aspinall, but does he really want Aspinall?
I'd have to say that's still a bad matchup for him,
Yeah, I think Aspinall's too well-rounded. He'd just take him to the ground and finish him. His clinch game is brilliant. Submit him, just get him in a headlock like John Jones did, and it became over. Yeah, Cyril Gane's a weird one, man. Talented fighter. I like watching him because he's entertaining. Yeah, I want to watch entertaining fights. He's entertaining to watch, and that's why Dana puts up with him, because he's not a boring fighter.
Yeah, I think he is a terrific athlete. If you see in clips of him playing basketball, playing football. Like, he is a naturally gifted athlete. But I don't think he's got that hunger, that desire to be the best. I think he just wants to have fun. I think he wants to have favourable matchups.
Yeah.
For him. That's why he's probably turned down the Curtis Blades fight, because he knows Curtis Blades will out wrestle him.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can say in his slight defense is that this fight is in June. Well, rumored that he would have turned up in June. The UFC are heading back to France in September. So is that too quick of a turnaround for him? Because I would imagine Cyril Gane will headline UFC Paris. Like, I can just imagine that he will. Pardon?
You would have thought that would be the obvious.
Unless it's him or Benoit Saint Denis that headlines, the two high-profile French fighters headline. That's the only reason why I could probably see that he turned down that fight, thinking, "No, I want a headline in Paris." But yet again, you're left with no opponents. What are you gonna do? Fight the winner of Almeida and whoever he fights at UFC 302, which will probably turn down because it is a nightmare matchup. Because Almeida, as much as I said he got absolutely fraud checked by Curtis Blades, he is still an astute jiu-jitsu practitioner and would probably beat Cyril Gane.
Yeah.
And so that's his only slight saving grace. But if he starts turning down more fights, it will not be surprised if Dana buries him in the presser. Like, we know Dana likes to bury fighters when they piss him off.
Hobby.
I'm shocked he's not buried him. Yeah. Like, I'm shocked. Like, I'm absolutely shocked that he's not buried him. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about the UFC event in Saudi Arabia. Let me know what your predictions are for Whittaker, Chimeav, and Pavlovich versus Volkov. Jamie, just a quick brief prediction. Who you got for the main and co-main?
So I would probably have Whittaker. I think his stamina's better as well. So yeah, he's bigger. Who's the main? Sorry, who's the co-main again?
Sergey Pavlovich versus Alexander Volkov.
Ooh, Volkov.
Do you know what? I said this in my video today. I was like, this is not a cut and dry. Oh, Sergey's going to win. Because Volkov is huge.
Yeah,
he is an excellent kickboxer. He's going to be hard to hit as well. And I can just imagine the kicks. The kicking game will be key. And it would be very interesting to see what would happen if Pavlovich gets clipped early. See if he gets memories of Aspinall. But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments, and let us know what you think in the comment section. But moving on to sort of the headliner. Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya rumoured to headline UFC 305 in Australia. As Tyler Jones said, UFC 305 back in Australia. Best believe in getting tickets again. Absolutely jealous of you. I'd love to get tickets to a UFC event. And I have my own issues with this. But before that, Jamie, I'll let you. You like this matchup? Do you like the fact that Izzy's getting it in his near enough home country?
So it looks like Dana's done what Dana's done, and he doesn't like DDP as champion.
I thought he would have done because he beat Strickland. But yet again, he said that Strickland won, which is crazy.
I think first Strickland. Izzy's where the money is, ain't it? Dana goes where the money is, like any promoter. He's not alone on it. Every promoter goes where the money is. Izzy's where the money is. It's pretty much gave him a hometown fight. I know it's New Zealand, Australia. Come on, I'm sorry, but it's that part of the world, ain't it? He's got to be the man over there. It should be in Africa, personally.
Do you know what? You just nicked and just nicked what I was going to say.
It should be. You've got arguably the biggest African fight in MMA history that's going to have a lot of bad blood in it. Like from a personal point of view, you have a lot of bad blood in it. DDP thinks he's the real African. You know, I don't want to go down the race thing because unfortunately I think that's where it might go down with this thing, like, because not through the fighters though, by the media. You know what the media is, just ridiculous. But it's going to be the build up to this fight is going to be entertaining. I'm here for it.
Great.
But then you're putting it in pretty much Australia and giving DDP, who's the champion, the disadvantage, which I think's mad.
Yeah.
You've got to give the champion should always have the advantage. You're a champion for a reason. Once you become champion, you start to get a bit of favour. You start to get advantages in your fight.
That's already staying like sure.
Yeah. So it's getting all the disadvantage, right? Should it be in Africa? Yeah. Can I make it work? Probably. I hate the fact when Dana comes out, oh, it's difficult to get this in there. You know, when he comes out with all this analytic stuff where he goes, it's difficult. It's like, no, it ain't. Come off it. You could, if you want these two to fight, and you've known since the Strickland loss that you went, I ain't getting Strickland a rematch. It's going to be Izzy and DDP. There's just too much money in that fight to ignore. Yeah, there's too much money in that fight to ignore because the build up and everything about it. I've got to do this in Africa. Africa's a massive continent. He can find stuff. Like South Africa is obviously the obvious place where you would do this fight. Yeah. You give DDP the homecoming, yeah? You give him the advantage. You make it the biggest fight for Africans in MMA history. You get all the legends there. You get Ngannou. You invite Ngannous. You get Usmans. You get all the great African champions of the past and all that. You build it up massive. And you're like, look what we're doing, putting a massive MMA show on in Africa. No one's done this yet. And they're like, no. What I do, I just give it to Izzy in Australia and hope he wins, and then I can have my money back. That's what he's doing, man. I feel for DDP. I actually feel for DDP.
Yeah, I do, because my main thing when I saw this, I was like, okay, you're back in Australia, which they have successful shows in Australia, so yes, it makes sense. I think Izzy lost a title in Australia, if memory serves me correctly. Yes, he did. He lost in Australia. So basically, you're giving Izzy a chance at redemption at a title shot he shouldn't have gotten because, if he would have just lost the belt and... Sorry, that's one of the dog's toys making that noise.
We had a secret baby in the house for a second.
But you know what? Yeah, you keep talking, and I'm going to turn that off. Actually.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, it's mad to me that you got this massive African fight and it's not setting that. Like, when are you going to get this opportunity again? Is Dana going to give DDP a rematch if Izzy loses? Wins, sorry. Is he going to give Izzy a rematch? No, he's making a number one contenders fight between Hazmat and Whittaker. That's going to be your number one contender fight. So whoever wins that will be fighting the winner of Izzy DDP. So when's the next time you're going to get this chance to hold a massive fight like this in Africa? You know, you could put Usman on the undercard in his return fight. You could put Usman in the undercard and have that as the main event. What a beautiful thing to do. But no.
But that's too much common sense, though, because
let's not do that.
They had the golden opportunity with the Three Kings. They had it in their hands, but they fluffed it. And yes, did COVID play a factor? Probably. It probably did play some sort of a factor. However, Dana literally said in the presser, yeah, Africa. We're going to go Africa. You know, Drickus is going to get his first title shot in Africa. Going to get his first title defense in Africa, if memory serves me correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, well, you know, the UFC are going to let, they've dropped the ball previously, but it's good to see that they are going to go back. They're going to go back to the Africa idea and put on a massive card in Africa. Great. Okay. yes, it would mean that Izzy gets the rematch. Well, gets the chance to regain his title for a third time. Does it make a mockery of the rankings? Yes. But as we've said on plenty of shows, me, you, Callum have done together, they don't care about the rankings. They care about what makes money. And the build-up would have been legendary. The video packages would have been legendary. You know, getting it in South Africa, Izzy would probably get booed out of the bloody arena. Drickers would be cheered like a hometown hero. But my word, UFC, what are you doing? What are you doing? Tell me you don't care without telling me you don't care. And we know that Dana wants Izzy to win. We know. Because he wants to have, as my personal belief, that they are desperate to get that Izzy Pereira trilogy. They are desperate for Izzy to become champ. And I think Sean winning that belt deviated away. Because my beliefs that the UFC 300 main event would have been Izzy versus Pereira for the light heavyweight title if Izzy won against Strickland. Basically shunning DDP to the side. So this, for Dana, in Dana's eyes, this is an inconvenience. And we know what Dana is. He is a bitter son of a gun. He is stubborn. He is, it's his way or the highway. And this is just another way. Because what are you going to do, right? Because the way that they've perfectly positioned this, Dana's probably going to think, yeah, Hamzat's going to beat Izzy, beat Rob. It might beat Izzy. Izzy drops the belt, and hey, get another rematch here, boys. Get Izzy, get another shot at the belt. Like, what trying to do it? Is Dana trying to make sure Izzy ends his career being the middleweight GOAT? Basically erasing Anderson Silva. Like, I've noticed that Dana likes to erase the old legends. Don't know, not you've seen the podcast with Cejudo and Usman and Dana. Fair play, Cejudo and Usman, because you are doing some of the best ass licking I have ever seen. Because you want jobs when he retires. You 100% want jobs when you retire, because Dana sat there and went, "Yeah, Kamaru, you are the best welterweight of all time. The best." Did Georges St. Pierre play golf? Did Georges St. Pierre do a different sport? And I know,
He fell out of him, didn't he?
That GSP made on that very same podcast, because he said that he could have beaten Khabib in 2020, which we could touch on that later if you want. But the revisionism is absolutely insane, and this is no slight on Adesanya, because I think he's a superb fighter. Is he cringe? Absolutely, he's cringe, but every fight is cringe, and this has got nothing against Izzy the fighter. But they are trying to, this Izzy prop, like, you're forcing it down our throat now. Like, you are forcing it down our throat that you want Izzy to be the guy. And trust me, you're going to make the fans hate him even more. This ain't WWE. Like, this is not WWE. You cannot script him to become the babyface. You cannot do what you tried to do with Roman in 2015. Make him a babyface when people wanted to boo him. And you saw that when Izzy lost the belt against Strickland. People were delighted he lost the belt.
Oh, yeah.
And people are not happy that this is the rumoured main event. Not happy. You're discrediting your champion. And you know what's going to be funny? I think DDP might beat him, you know? I just have a feeling he may just beat him. And that'll be so hilarious. Not for Izzy, but for Dana. It's going to be hilarious. Because if Izzy gets outclassed again, you cannot justify him another title shot without him fighting a couple of other guys that he's not fought. Like Hamzat, if he loses, like a Brendan Allen or run back the Strickland rematch, or I'm trying to think who else he's not fought. Trying to think who's he not fought. Like Jack Hermanson or a Roman Delitze or something like that. But it is what it is. Like it's not a great look. But hey, he's gonna sell a bunch of tickets. It's gonna sell a bunch of tickets. It's gonna do a great pay-per-view, but I'm not happy with this in the slightest. This is piss poor booking. But hey, Dana does what Dana wants. It's an absolute mess. Little rant over.
Yeah, Dana all over, man. Like GSP is probably the best 170er in UFC history, but he fell out of him. So Usman's his man now. Yep.
Facts. Like I have to. I just. I've not actually listened to the whole podcast, but I just saw clips on like Dana basically taking shots at Conor and like taking sly digs at Conor, saying he's got too much money. That's why we can't negotiate with him. Mate, he literally did an interview today where he literally got asked, like, would you keep him doing the acting? And he went, no, like, get me back in that bleeding octagon. Like, that guy is itching to fight. You tell me money's the issue. Crazy.
It's all he knows. It's all he knows.
Absolutely crazy. And obviously, I would expect that, obviously with this being in Perth, I would expect Alexander Volkanovski to make his return co-main event. If Volkanovski does return, who do you think they should match him up against?
What, Volk?
Yeah, if he should return on that card.
You would feel like it would be the obvious card for him to come back on, wouldn't you, if he's ready?
Yeah, I think they should match him with Josh Emmett.
I'm not sure, you know. Where would I see Volk? Where would I see him? I mean, what?
Josh Emmett for me.
You reckon?
Yeah, Josh Emmett. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Josh Emmett makes sense.
It's a fresh matchup. It'd be very, very interesting to see if they're actually going to give Ilya the opportunity to fight in Spain, or if not, that's just going to be
Arnold Allen, maybe.
Arnold Allen possibility, but I think Arnold Allen's fighting Gige Dalazzi.
Oh, he's fighting Giga, isn't he?
Yeah, fighting Giga, which I think he beats Giga. So I think
Brian Ortega.
What run that back again?
Yeah,
potentially. But I think
like the problem with Volk is that he's fought everyone pretty much. But does Volk want to fight a fighter? Like
he says he wants a title shot straight away, and do you know what? No,
well, he ain't fighting Ilya in Australia, mate. But then again, I don't think Ilya's fighting that in Spain, so it might be. It might be Ilya Volk rematch.
It would not surprise me because we know that UFC likes to drop the ball on absolute home runs, and
that'd be a heck of a card.
You could literally have Ilya fight at the Bernabeu.
It ain't gonna happen.
Closed roof.
Ilya's not selling 90,000 tickets. He's just not. He's just not. I don't know what MMA fighter right now would sell 90,000 tickets that ain't named Conor McGregor.
I was about to say, like, if Conor, you ain't selling.
Like, I understand they can't get Crow Park ever, but because of the political thing about getting Crow Park. But Crow Park's at 80,000. Conor would sell that out. Conor would sell that out without a shadow of a doubt. I just don't know if Ilya sells out the Bernabeu. And then if you got the Bernabeu's massive, it's 80-odd thousand. It's all-seater stadium. And then with the flooring, you're looking at 85,000 they can pack in there.
Yeah, which don't make look like the same as any other arena. They wouldn't even Make the Bernabeu look special. Just make it like another.
And if that only has 50,000 in it, that's not a good look for me.
No,
That's
no.
not a good look, and I don't think that's why Dana don't like really doing arenas that much. What's their record attendance? 52,000.
It was in Perth, wasn't it? It's when Izzy beat Whittaker for the belt.
50, 52, 54,000.
Yeah, it was in the Marvel Arena, I think. So,
And that's with that killer main event. So, like,
no, killer main event, killer
and
main
and
event.
Izzy's in the main event, so they got to pack that out, ain't they? So,
And
and the last time they had it was in Australia when they broke the record was Holly Holm Ronda, weren't it? But Ronda's star power at the time was huge. So,
oh yeah, 100%.
so like that's that. I don't think Dana would want to go to a stadium like the Bernabeu because it'd be a stadium like the Bernabeu is very obvious if it's not sold out. You can just tell because there's nothing to hide, is there? The way it's built and structured, you just and I don't think he'd want to do that. I just don't see Ilya. I mean, what sort of pay-per-view you do have to put on in Spain to sell it out? Or Ilya Volk in Spain as the main event, and then what's your co-main that's going to help sell that stadium out?
First game, Marab versus Sean O'Malley.
I mean, it's just not selling it out, is it? It's just not selling it out. So it could be right, man. It could be DDP is in the main event and Ilya Volk in the rematch in the co-main. That'd be a heck of a card.
It would be an absolute heck of a card as well. Just trying.
And he does put big cards on for Australia.
Yes, he does. He does. I think they've got a deal that they'll go there 2 times a year starting from next year. So that's going to be a regular thing. I think also, like, last thing I want to touch on is like the pay-per-view schedule for the UFC until Australia. I'll just get it up now. Basically, 300 is in Vegas, 301 is in Rio, 302, which is June the 1st, is due to be in Newark, but it's not officially announced. UFC 303 will be in Vegas. UFC 304 will be in the UK. Brackets not officially announced. 305 will be in Perth, which will be in August, and 306 will be in the Sphere. And obviously, they'll probably still do New York, Vegas, Abu Dhabi as well. So it looks like that we would be getting a UK pay-per-view. And then I did see, I think a fighter may have leaked that he wants to fight a certain fighter on the undercard of McGregor Chandler at UFC 303, which would be interesting to see if that happens. I highly doubt it because, Dana and Conor have got beef, and you know what Dana's like. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yes, and also this upcoming week, the UFC are back in action, this time in Atlantic City, where it is, I'm trying to think, it is Aaron Blanchfield versus Manon Fiorot at flyweight. For me, this is a number 1 contenders bout. They will fight the winner of Grasso Shevchenko 3. And also on the card is Vicente Luque versus Joaquin Buckley. Great fight. Chris Weidman versus Bruno Silva. Bill Alger versus Carl Nelson. Reese McGee is also on the card as well. And also on the prelims, we've got Lupi Godin. Got some other fighters on that card. So what do you think of the main event? Because obviously they're going to be in prime position to fight potentially your favorite fighter, Jamie. Potentially your favorite fighter in Valentina.
Yeah, is this Aaron Blanchfield? Is it
Blanchfield? Yeah, she tapped out Molly Holm in the first round. That was such a bad matchup because I thought the UFC were going to strap her to get that title shot, but the second they matched her up with Blanchfield, I was like, oh yeah, Dana doesn't want that to happen.
No, I'll tell you, Blanchfield at the moment over Manon, but
I like Blanchfield a lot. I like her.
yeah, I think she's special. I mean, I know Manon will have the height obviously advantage, but
Yeah, I thought she'd all right against
the
Rose.
reach advantage is actually with Erin, even though she's shorter. So I just feel, Erin wins that and then goes to fight Grosso, in my opinion, which obviously I don't want, but I think that'll be what happens.
Also,
I think Valentina's just coming to the end of her career now, personally.
Yeah, I think I did a prediction video at the beginning of the year. I think she'll fight the win. I think she'll move up the bantamweight if she becomes unsuccessful. And I think she fights the winner of Pennington versus Pena, due to be at the end of the year. I did see comments from Macy Barber sort of slagging off Blanchfield a bit, saying that, oh, she's been having my seconds and sort of thing. I'm like, hold on. I know you're on like a 6-fight win streak, but you've been on one hell of a dodgy streak,
Yeah.
Like winning split decisions. Like, I know the UFC hyped you up. Like, but my God, like, please, you're actually starting to look a little bit like you start to show that potential, but hush your gums, please. Please. You're not on Erin's level. You're not. Erin will snap your arm off. Guaranteed, like she'll snap your arm off.
Yeah,
But
Erin's
yeah,
different, man. Erin's different.
I like Furo. I didn't think she was particularly great against Rose, but she didn't need to be because I thought Rose was piss poor. I know Rose won on the weekend, but I thought she was piss poor again.
Yeah, Rose don't look great at the moment, does she?
No, Furo looks a more polished version of Shukagan. Which is not good because you'll just be a decision machine basically. And then also co-main event Vicente Luque versus Joaquin Buckley, last minute replacement. Buckley coming in for the injured Sean Brady. How do we see that one sort of matching up? I think this is Luque's first fight since being medically cleared.
Yeah. It's been a while. Brady in that fight, I think.
No, no, it's not Brady. It's Buckley versus
Buckley.
Buckley versus Luque.
Oh, Luque then. Yeah.
I fancy Luque.
Yeah, even coming back from that. Yeah.
And then hopefully this will be Chris Weidman's last fight against Bruno Silva. Please.
I can't believe he's actually fighting. I don't know what's going on.
Like, please, Chris, get the win. Get the win like you richly deserve. Please hang out those gloves, fellas.
Has there ever been a fighter in UFC history that has held on to beating a certain champion as long as he has? Because I don't know what Weidman. Well, Weidman's career is beating Anderson Silva, obviously.
Yeah.
Nothing else has happened since.
No, it's like since he lost the belt to Rockhold, he's sort of been on the downward slope.
Yeah.
Since then, really.
That Anderson Silva fight was his pinnacle. Obviously, the rematch. The rematch is what happened. He broke his leg and whatever. But after that, yeah, he's had a few fights where he's looked decent. But
yeah, not by Yoel Romero. He absolutely got clocked by Yoel Romero. But
yeah. I think Weidman's at the time of his career where I don't think anyone really cares. So yeah. I don't know why. I don't actually know why he's fighting. I don't know why Daniel lets him keep fighting either. It's mad to me.
Yeah, I think Dane said that he's going to give him one more chance. I'm thinking, yeah, you're lying there. Anything else you want to touch on before we take the people out?
I can't think of anything right now. Obviously, we got the UK show. I think Dana said we're going to hear about that early next week. So
yeah, I think he'll announce it that it's a pay-per-view. I think
it's definitely a pay-per-view. He said, and it's going to be 2 title matches. So that's the rumor.
You're telling me we're going to get Leon and Tom.
We could get Tom and Leon on the same card, man.
Yes.
So it's 2 title matches. We're assuming it's 2 Brits, being in Britain, being a British pay-per-view for the first time. You'd think, but then it could be anyone.
Yeah. And then obviously I don't think there's anything else I want to add, but But everyone that's tuned in, stuck in since the beginning, big up to everyone that commented: Tyler, Daz, Eric, Simon or Simon. Thanks for interacting. Jamie, anything you want to plug on your channel that's coming up?
Yeah, half midnight. I'm doing the Ruben Almiron.
Why is it at half midnight? Because I may have stayed up if it was like at midnight. Yeah,
Go have a cup of tea, something to eat quickly, and then get that out because I don't want to do anything over the weekend because obviously it's Easter. So I'm going to do a little bit of a match preview on Saturday. But then, I don't want to do too much over the weekend because it's Easter, ain't it? I'll spend time with the kids and the family. So, I'll get this video out tonight.
Yeah.
And chill.
Yeah, and everyone, make sure to check in. God, I don't know what's happening with my words today. Everyone, make sure to check out Jamie's channel. Link is in the description. Jamie, when you guest star on Let's Talk Games, whenever you want me to. Whenever you want me to.
What's
everyone,
that?
I have no idea. So everyone subscribe to Jamie's channel in the description below, and we will see you all very soon.